Welcome to a video for Algebra 1. In this video we're discussing 6.2, page 381, problem number 3. 6.2 involves solving linear systems by substitution. So when you're solving by substitution, one of the first steps that you want to do is you want to solve one of the equations for one of its variables. When possible, if you can get one of the variables to have a coefficient of 1, that works best. Now, luckily in these sets of equations, we have two equations in which have been solved for the variable already. So it's actually done the hard part for you. You'll notice here that we're solving for x or for y, so you can actually pick any one of these. I'm going to go ahead and pick and substitute this equation, y equals x minus 2, I'm going to substitute this for this y. So recall y here is the same y here, and this y we're told equals x minus 2. So I'm going to replace the value of y, which is x minus 2, in here. So let me show you how we do that. So I'm going to have a new equation, x equals 17 minus 4. And then I have a value for y. Instead of putting y, I'm going to put in my new value. I'm going to put in a new value, which is x minus 2. So now, at this point, I can just do some algebra. So I have 17 minus, and then I'm going to use distributive property. So I'll distribute the 4 into the x. That's negative 4x. And then I'll distribute then my negative 4 into a negative 2. Which then gives me a positive 8. And this is my new equation now, so x equals this. And you'll notice that by substituting, I now have an equation with only one variable. Okay, so I can solve for the first variable. I need to find the value. Solving linear systems by substitution gives me a specific coordinate point at which both of these lines intersect that. They give me the solution to that system of equations down there. So I have 17 and then 8. So that's going to give me a positive 25. These are like terms. Minus 4x and then x equals. So then my next step would be to add 4x to both sides of the equation, giving me a new equation. My new equation I'm going to go ahead and write over here. My new equation is now 5x equals 25. So I need to divide by 5 on both sides, giving me x equals 5. So I have now my value for x. I can now use this value and input it into one of my equations. I'm going to go ahead and put it in this equation because it's just a little bit easier. So then my new equation here, I can say y equals, and I know a value for x is 5 minus 2, giving me a value of y equals 3. So I now have values for my x, y coordinates. So now I know the solution for these equations. So if I were to graph these two equations, those two lines would have a common point of intersection, and that point would be, my x value would be 5, and my y value would be 3. That would be the solution to these systems of equations. Alright, so that was 6.2, page 381, number 3.